Blaming others is one of the most natural human reactions to failure, pain, and disappointment. When things go wrong, the impulse to locate the cause outside ourselves offers immediate relief. Responsibility is heavy. Blame is light. Yet while blaming others may protect the ego in the short term, it quietly erodes personal freedom, moral clarity, and the possibility of growth. To stop blaming others is not merely a behavioral adjustment. It is a philosophical shift in how one understands agency, responsibility, and the self. At its core, blame is a way of explaining misfortune. It assigns causality and moral weight. Someone did this to me. Someone is at fault. In many cases, blame is not entirely false. People do harm one another. Systems are unjust. Circumstances can be unfair. Philosophy does not deny this. What it questions is the use we make of blame. When blame becomes our primary lens for understanding our lives, it turns from explanation into excuse. Blame often disguises powerlessness as righteousness. By focusing on what others have done wrong, we avoid confronting what remains within our control. This avoidance is seductive because self-examination is uncomfortable. To acknowledge one's own role, even a limited one, in failure or suffering, threatens one's self-image. Yet without this acknowledgement, one remains trapped. If others are always responsible, then one's life is always at the mercy of forces beyond oneself. The Stoic philosophers understood this danger clearly. They argued that freedom begins where responsibility begins. While external events lie beyond our control, our judgments, responses, and actions do not. Blaming others shifts attention outward, away from the only domain in which genuine change is possible. In this sense, blame is not merely an emotional reaction. It is a philosophical error about where human agency resides. Blame also distorts our understanding of morality. It simplifies complex situations into narratives of villains and victims. While moral clarity can be valuable, moral oversimplification is not. Human actions emerge from layered motives, pressures, and limitations. To reduce wrongdoing solely to the moral failure of others is to refuse the complexity of human life. Worse, it exempts us from recognizing similar flaws in ourselves. Blame reassures us that the problem is always out there, never in here. Stopping blame does not mean denying injustice or excusing harm. Accountability is not the same as blame. Accountability seeks understanding and correction. Blame seeks emotional discharge. One aims at repair, the other at self-justification. A society or individual that abandons blame does not become passive, it becomes more precise. Responsibility can be assigned without hatred, and wrongs can be addressed without surrendering one's inner equilibrium. There is also a psychological cost to blaming others: resentment. Resentment binds a person to the very thing they oppose. It keeps the past alive, replayed endlessly in thought and emotion. The person who blames lives reactively, defined by what has been done to them, rather than by what they choose to do next. In this way, blame gives others continued power long after the original event has passed. To stop blaming others is therefore an act of reclaiming authorship over one's life. It is a recognition that while one may not choose the circumstances one faces, one always chooses how to interpret and respond to them. This recognition is demanding. It requires humility, the acceptance that we are fallible, and courage, the willingness to face ourselves without disguise. But it is precisely this demand that makes responsibility transformative rather than oppressive. Philosophically, abandoning blame aligns with a deeper conception of freedom. Freedom is not the absence of constraint, but the capacity for self-governance. A person who blames others is governed by reaction. A person who accepts responsibility is governed by reflection. The former waits for the world to change. The latter begins with the self. In the end, stopping blame is not about moral superiority or silent endurance. It is about clarity. It is about seeing that blame narrows the horizon of possibility, while responsibility expands it. When we stop blaming others, we do not deny the world's imperfections. We refuse to let them define us. And in that refusal, we take the first genuine step toward wisdom, agency, and inner freedom.